And welcome to another day of As the World Turns. I'm your host, Mr. Langston, and today what we're doing is fractions. Well, specifically, we're adding and subtracting fractions. So I've got three equations here. Well, not three equations, but three problems here. I have them where it's subtraction, different bottom numbers or denominators. I have addition, same denominators, and I have addition, different denominators. So what you need to remember when you are adding or subtracting fractions is you need to get the denominators, the bottom numbers in the fraction, to be the same. So right here, this is our easiest problem that we have. We've got a bottom number of 5, bottom number of 5. Hey, great. All you have to do when you add is remember, you're going to keep that same bottom number. So I'm going to keep that 5 in the bottom. And now what I'm going to do is switch my color because I like color. And I'm going to take the top numbers, 2 plus 2, and add them together. So 2 plus 2, 4. So I got the final answer of 4/5. If you have to, after you're done adding, reduce the numbers. Not a problem. I've got 9/8 plus 5/7. In this case, my bottom numbers are different. I've got an 8, I've got a 7. An easy way to make the same bottom numbers is to multiply the 8 by the 7 and the 7 by the 8. What I'm talking about is this. Multiply the 8 by the 7 by the 8. The problem is if I just multiply the bottom numbers, I'm changing everything. What I've got to do, if I multiply the bottom number by 7, I've got to multiply the top number by 7. And if I multiply the bottom number by 8, I've got to multiply the top number by 8. So 7 times 8, that's going to be 56. 7 times 8, 56. And now all I worry about is the top numbers. What's 7 times 9? Well, what are we looking at? 63. 5 times 8, 40. Now I've got what I want. I've got the same bottom numbers, 56 and 56. And like I said right here, once you get the same bottom numbers, you keep that bottom number, 56. And now I'm going to add 63 and 40, which is 103. And now what I'm going to do is simplify, like I told you. Easy way to simplify, just divide. 103 by 56. So how many times does 56 go into 103? Well, it goes once. 1 times 56 is 56, and now I'm going to subtract it. Got to borrow. So that becomes a 13. This becomes a 9. Oops, it didn't put it in red. Becomes a 9. So 13 minus 6, that's 7. 9 minus 5, that's a 4. So what I have now is my 1. This goes on the outside of the fraction. And 47 over 56. I've cleansed the demon. Over here, you got to get the same bottom number again. Now this is interesting because 3 and 6, 3 is a multiple of 6. I can take both and just multiply them together. That'll give me the same bottom number. But since 3 already goes into 6, I can make this 3 into a 6, which will make smaller numbers. Smaller numbers makes it easier. So 3 times 2 is 6. And remember, if I multiply the bottom, I've got to multiply the top. Top by 2. So what I've got now, 2 times 9, 18. 2 times 3, 6. And then I'm subtracting 1 over 6. Now, I've got the same bottom number, 6 and 6. Yay! So I just put the 6 there. And now I do 18 minus 1. 17. It's a lousy looking 7, isn't it? Let's see if I can make a better one. 17. Again, I have an improper fraction. I've got to simplify. So how many times does 6 go into 17? Goes in 2 times. 2 times 6, 12. Remainder's 5. So again, you're going to take this 2, that goes on the outside of the fraction. And I've got the remainder of 5. So it's 2 and 5, 6. Again, that's a lousy looking 6, isn't it? If you haven't noticed, my handwriting's atrocious. Not much I can do about it. Multiplication and division of fractions. Multiplication and division, those are pretty simple. What you do with multiplication is you're going to straight multiply across. So an easy one would be, and I'm going to change this for multiplication. I want this to be a division. This looks like it would be a better. So multiply straight across. What I'm talking about, 2 times 31, 62. 3 times 19. Okay. Well, 3 times 19, 57. Okay, the way I figured this out so quick, I could do this, 19 times 3, and just figure it out when I multiply. But the way I remember it is this. To do it in my head, 20 minus 1 is 19. So I take and I multiply it by 3. 3 times 20, 60. I also multiply this side by 3. 3 times 1, 3. 60 minus 3, 57. That's how I do the mental math here. I do it real quick. Boom. So next one I've got, division. Whenever you do division, what you are going to do, very simple, you are going to change it to multiplication, and you are going to take the reciprocal of the last number. So what I'm talking about, multiplication, and it becomes 9 over 14. And now, keep everything else. Just change it to multiplication, take the reciprocal. Boom. Now for this one, I'm going to do what's called cross-canceling, which means 3 and 9 and 1 and 14. I can take this 3 and 9 and cross-cancel. They're both divisible by 3. So what I'm going to do is divide it by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Makes the problem easier. So I've got 1 over 1 times 3 over 14. Well, 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 14 is 14. And the last one I've got here, I've got 5 over 11. I'm going to change this to multiplication. And remember, I'm going to reverse, or shall I say, take the reciprocal. So what I've got is 11 over 26. Do your cross-canceling if you can. It makes your life easier. They're both divisible by 11. 11 divided by 11 is 1. 11 divided by 11 is 1. And now I've got a new fraction, 5 over 1 times 1 over 26. Please dial extension 31122. So I've got 5 over 1 times 1 over 26. And I'm going to take and just multiply them across. 5 times 1 is 5.